noise for Evelyn Troutman.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at me, but I have ED. Eating disorder. Sorry, did some of you guys think I meant erectile dysfunction? No, don't be ridiculous. My other organs may fail, but my dick never will. It's interesting. I found that really only my friends who have also been to eating disorder treatment, so also have eating disorders, really tend to use the abbreviation ED. And it just gives me so much strength to know that I'm part of this community of people who all don't have enough energy to mutter a full-length word. I specifically am recovering from anorexia, so not your typical starving comedian. That's right. Everybody else you've seen here tonight is a fucking phony. These hacks just not eating because of the money. This is who I am. There's this like stereotype about people with eating disorders that we all just want to look like our favorite flagpole or whatever. That's not really my experience. Like I don't have that desire. I think capes make me look fat. But it did start off as like a body image disturbance thing, right? Because when I was younger, I hated the way I looked. And it was actually because a while ago, when I was much younger, I was actually a preteen girl. And that's not me trying to like insinuate that like men can't have body image problems, that they can't develop eating disorders. There's actually like a couple pretty famous men who have dealt with eating disorders. Jeffrey Dahmer, he had issues with a lot of bodies. DJ Khaled, he had a pretty serious restriction of pussy. Just came right out and said it too, like he was so brave. And when I was younger, my family and my therapist, they would try to get through to me. They were like, Evelyn, like you have body dysmorphia, like I don't know how you can't see it. Like you look like the girl from The Ring. How can you not see that? I'm like, I'm sorry, it's really hard for me. I haven't seen that movie. I heard it's pretty scary though. And I can imagine like a movie about this like demon child girl with thighs the size of redwood trees is terrifying. I don't know, it was just always really hard for me to accept the fact that my perception is off. Because then I was fat and wrong. But I have since realized that I don't see things clearly. I still it's hard to get over the emotional component of like these types of disorders, right? Because I have like an implicit reaction to food, to eating. A lot of people don't get it, they don't understand. They're like, Evelyn, it's really weird that you would cry over a burrito. And I'm like, it's really weird that you would cry over an onion. Onions have 0 calories, what's there to be afraid of? I have been to like quite a bit of therapy, not bragging, but so, I've learned skills, I'm able to challenge myself, so I do try to push myself to eat new foods. Like the other week, I was at a friend's house, and I had this food that I never had before. What's that one drink? Everybody's drinking it now, it's like super popular.
White Claw.
It is girly, but not as bougie. Semen. I drank cum for the first time. Yeah, thanks. My dietitian would say I'm lying, but I really didn't like it. But I was pretty proud of myself because afterwards I didn't even look at the calories or anything. You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Keep it going for Evelyn Troutman, everybody. How do you feel about your set? What's your initial thought post-set?
I think it was fine. I think I definitely made a couple people uncomfortable, but fine. I don't know. It was either that or 5 minutes of suicide jokes. I chose what I thought would go over.
The eating stuff over suicide?
Yeah, because I don't know, just from the very, and I don't believe that, like, I have to, I don't know, just from the very basis of, like, I do, like, deal with eating stuff on a pretty regular basis, and I haven't actually tried to kill myself before. I've thought about
congrats
it.
on not doing
Thank
that.
you, yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not planning to.
Okay, good.
In the moment, but, no. Yeah, so, I don't know, if people get pissed off at either of those sets, I have a little bit more just...
So you're very personal, I feel like, with your material. Like right off the bat, you're like, this is, like, a vulnerability of mine. Do you ever, when people pull away, do you ever take that personally? That's kind of like a hard-hitting question, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because I think it makes people, talking about certain stuff just makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You say a certain word and then people pull back.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually out of a place of, like, they want to be sensitive towards it.
Yeah.
And I think about my jokes a lot, so I make sure to try to structure them where it would never be triggering to people who've actually gone through this before.
So then on the opposite side of that, have you ever had a set where afterwards someone was like, hey, thank you for talking about that? Have you ever had like that moment where someone is like praising you, like you made their day or you said something that they've been afraid to say? Because I feel like you say a lot of things that are like very brave on that subject, and I know people have also dealt with eating. And I know that sometimes, I feel like if they were to hear what you said, they would feel so relieved to hear someone else say it. Have you ever had someone come up to you after a show and like, have you ever had that moment happen?
Yes, like all the time. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very rewarding. Like when I first started talking about my ED stuff, like a couple years ago, I started dealing with it for like a decade, like way longer than I ever talked about it. But when I first started talking about it, people would come up to me afterwards and they'd be like, oh my god, like thank you. And I would always be like, oh my god, was it triggering? Like I'm so sorry. And they were like, no, it was great. Like, and so, yeah, it was very cool to get that like reassurance, not just from like the audience response in the moment, but then after the fact too, yeah.
Do you find that like an additional layer of satisfying? Does that kind of make it for you, I guess? Or is that just an additional like icing on the cake kind of deal?
So I used to think that you should try to stick to the truth as much as possible in order to maintain like as much authenticity as possible. I don't believe that anymore. I think that you can find truth. You can have like something based in truth and then expand off of that, like absurdist comedy or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
The set I did tonight, it was basically a lot of, I would consider some of the jokes I did a little hackier compared to some of the other material I have about
it. Oh, interesting.
Why
is that? What do you think makes a joke hacky, per se?
Either it's unoriginal, lazy, just, you didn't put a lot of thought into it. It's just been done before, and for me the biggest thing, it's like anybody could be saying that.
100%.
And it doesn't matter who's saying that hack joke, like anybody could be saying it, and to me, like, it's really important, like, the specific person who's talking on stage, it's like, why is that specific person on stage telling me this right now? Like, why does it matter that it's them?
Yeah, it has to be, like, sincere to you, and that's what makes a joke. In some sense, that is what makes a joke, but it's what makes it, like, yours. Because I could do a bit on ED, but like it would make no sense, and I would have very little experience. But like your experience, you can like pull from, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and like you could write a joke about it.
I could.
Like
it'd be a different perspective, though.
Yeah. I think that Yeah, because I'm not one of those people who'd be like, oh, you can't joke about this. Like, anybody can really joke about anything.
Yeah.
But,
They just come from a different point.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Ring? Actually,
I still have not seen it,
neither
but
have I.
I've watched the video within The Ring.
Yes. Like the clip?
Yeah, like, quite extensively. Because at one point I was thinking of, like, recreating it.
On stage?
For, like, a bit. No, not on stage. That would be cool, but, no, that would be hard to do with, like, the finger and the nail thing. But,
okay. You've thought about that.
I know the whole thing. But, yeah, I have never seen The Ring. I don't really like horror movies.
Yeah, neither do I.